Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whoever and wherever you are, hello. Now straight off the bat you might realise that something's a little bit off with the camera. Rest assured, it's not quite off. This is the new GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I wanted to test out the stabilisation feature of it. So my 6 that I've been using up until now is in front of me. Hello. And the Session, which I was using for my original videos, is now down by my right foot there, capturing all the lovely footage from my, well, right foot really. It's one of my favourite angles on the bike because you get the front tyre, you get the front wheel, everything that's going on down there, and also it just gives you a new perspective, like low down on the road. Really nice. And I have to say, I'm actually kind of nervous because I've never had the idea of a camera being pointed at me, even with the Session, which I normally put right there. It actually feels like there's a camera watching me now, so I'm a little bit nervous about that, but that's just me. All things aside though, huzzah, it works. So I'm going to take this right, and see where it takes us. Now the purpose of today is not only to test out the incredible stabilization of the Hero 7, and not only to test out some of the other camera angles I can do, such as slapping the Hero 6 on a super wide view right in front of me so you can see all of me, as opposed to having the Session down there at an angle which looks more that way than anything. So yeah, that should be interesting. Yeah, it's just a reason for me to come out and do a ride. But here's the thing, I wanted to set myself a challenge, and for this challenge I'm actually going to slow down a little bit and take it nice and easy down here because I don't know this road, and also there's no traffic around, although we have this amazing view. I say it's amazing, weather ain't great, but hey. So bear with me, I will task myself a challenge of doing a video for 10, maybe 15 minutes without editing the video whatsoever. So if this works out, if I include this part in the video, then I guess I did it, but you get to come along with me for the ride, don't you? So this isn't going to be a nomination thing, or it's not going to be something to, you know, how can I put it? When I've done the 3/3 challenge, or the 3x3 challenge, list 3 things people don't know about you, and then nominate 3 other people. Great, right? Fantastic. But in that sort of way, it felt like you're trying to encourage people to do something that they might actually not be willing to do. And you know, that just seems a bit off to me. I don't like disturbing people. I don't like you know, I don't like asking people to do something if they don't want to, or have no prior knowledge of me asking them to do it. So what I want to do with this one is just basically like challenge myself. Now if you guys want to do this challenge as well, if you want to ask one of your friends to do it, then by all means go ahead. But hey, who knows, maybe some other guys will do this as well. But for me personally, I've got a good memory down here actually, I'll tell you that in a sec. But yeah, for me personally, I just wanted to set myself a challenge without including other people or making it seem like I'm bothering others. So 10 minutes, 15 minutes without an edit, eh? I don't know. It means I've got to talk about something or things for that long. And normally when I come out for a ride, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have any prior subjects. I just get on the bike, ride around for 5-10 minutes and think, right, this is what I'm going to talk about, and then go. Fantastic. But yeah, so if you like the camera angles, do let me know. If you find it a little bit bothersome to have a camera looking at you while you're watching me and vice versa and such, then, you know, let me know on that. and I might try and relocate the 6 down here or something. Just depends on the angles, camera angles and such. But we'll get to it, don't we? We always get to it. Now, the memory which I had back there, this is the same route which I took when I was training on the motorcycle. It's the first time I was on the 650, A650 motorcycle. So a lot of power, very quickly, and needless to say, I wasn't used to it whatsoever. There's that lovely view again. Some lovely turns. And my instructor asked me to pull over, and I'm not used to leading groups of motorcycles, or even I'm not used to being in front. I like to sit in the middle or at the back because it gives me peace of mind. So he said pull over. So for example, down here, if I was to pull over, I would just simply pull over. Now there's nothing really behind us, so if we have a look down here, for example, you can see there's a lot of mud and such, right? So that's one of the hazards I didn't take into consideration when I pulled over. So I put over, put my foot down, splodge. Big lump of mud gets stuck under my boot, and then suddenly I'm fighting for control over the bike. And my instructor asked me, what the hell was that? And I said, well, you asked me to pull over, so I did. And he said, yeah, but when I ask you to pull over, I mean do it in a safe manner. I said, okay, but I'm not the sort of person that wants to, you know, when I get asked to do something, I usually do it. And he says, yeah, but I asked you to do something, but most importantly, especially when you're on a motorcycle or driving a vehicle, you do it safely. Now, if you look at something and you think maybe that's not a good idea, or you see something on the road, then you avoid it. You would, you know, the conscious thought in your head would be, there's an obstacle, I need to avoid that at all costs. So you avoid it, fantastic. And I didn't have that brainwave, the thought. I wanted the same brain thought, not brain thought. I didn't have the brainwave, fantastic. We'll get the words out eventually. So yeah, that was interesting. And it's one of the things which really sort of woke me up to riding a motorcycle, especially a large one, because I wasn't taking into consideration the newfound weight that was a much heavier bike, and I wasn't taking into consideration the entirely alien seating position that I was in. So all things considered though, nothing bad happened, and we got a bit of a laugh out of it afterwards. My instructor he was very stern in his teaching, but he was also very friendly about it. So later on he'd say, alright, do you know what you did there? And I'd say, yeah, I know. And he'd say, right, so you're not going to do it again, are you bloody idiot? And I'd say no, and then we'd have a bit of a laugh about it and everything would be fine. And to be honest, I will admit, after my first day worth of training, I didn't want to go back. I hated it. I loathed the idea of going back, but I'd already put the money down. And I thought, well, the only option I have, regardless of sleep, regardless of nerves, regardless of anything, the only option I have is to do it. And yeah, that was quite something to get through. Now normally what I would do at this point is probably pull over and let the 2 cars behind me pass. But because this is a challenge, my friends, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to have to speed up a little bit. I'm trying to go a little bit slower so the audio isn't so crap, let's say. The more wind noise you get, the more the whooshy whoosh you get, and it sort of just ruins the audio. But normally I'd like to stick to lower speeds, and the amount of videos I've actually not released because of the amount of wind noise, if I go over 60 miles an hour, you hear it. And when you're doing like a video and 5 minutes of that is just 60 mile an hour winds, and most of what you hear is just shh, it gets very distracting. It gets very it ruins the video a bit. But rather than faff about bridge, I'll just go for it, because this is a challenge after all, isn't it? Now thankfully there is a timer on the front of the GoPro 6 there, and I can see we are currently at, I can't actually see it at all, fantastic. But I can roughly make out some numbers, so when I see a 1 on there, I'll make it something. Now here's where the mind goes dead. What do you talk about? Well, how do you keep people interested in your video? Why don't you want them to click off it? Well, I've always been a simple man, and I always say You do what you want. You hit the subscribe button if you want, you hit the like button if you want, you comment if you want. It's all down to you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, because you're a human and you have your own thoughts and feelings, and you're capable of making your own decisions, aren't you? Now, I did want to go on this whole tangent, this whole rant about the state of YouTube and such, and one thing I do want to actually point out, rather than going into it, because my last video, long as it was, which was kind of inspiration for this one, it just felt like I was moaning all the time. And it depends on how you take it. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, maybe I was giving some actual feedback or such. But rather than go into the whole shebang about this, the main issue which I have with YouTube at the moment is when I look on it with my mobile phone, when I scroll through the stuff with my mobile phone, I'm getting the same advertisements. And YouTube has got into a lot of trouble previously over the years, because advertisers don't want to advertise their products on a platform where people can upload all kinds of videos. Dead people in a forest, people abusing dogs, such and such. Nice straight bit of road here. Yeah! All kinds of really disgusting behaviour. But unfortunately, when you give people the choice of being able to upload pretty much whatever they want to platform, that's what's going to happen. Now, my beef is, if YouTube has all these bots that can see imagery and logos and trademarks of companies, then surely there's a way to tweak it where you can sort of get the idea that something kind of bad is happening in this video and it shouldn't be shown, or at least like flag it so an independent individual has to actually click on it and say, alright, well, I don't think this is relevant for YouTube. But then that's a whole different thing. Is this relevant for YouTube, or does this not meet my political expectations, therefore I won't release it? You know, there's a whole thing there. Whole thing. So yeah, basically when I scroll through YouTube on my phone, I get advertisements which are Fortnite or GTA 5 or trading with gold and such, and it's not so much in the sense of it keeps on getting repeated. It's in the sense of, like, especially the GTA 5 and the Fortnite ones, these are really obviously fake advertisements. Like, you can't play a game like GTA 5 on your mobile phone. The thing's like 100 odd gigabytes on your PC. There's no way your phone could manage that sort of processing power. I mean, phones are bloody brilliant these days, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it baffles me. And I honestly take a step back and I think, right, well, how has it got to a point where these blatantly fake videos have made it onto this mobile thing? Because it's not just like play GTA 5 on your phone, it's GTA 5 game, GTA, Game 5, GTA, Rockstar Games, Grand Theft Auto, and it makes no sense. It's literally like a Chinese company, or, you know, not to single the Chinese out, but it's like a scam company that's just taken a bunch of words and just mashed them together for a video, for an advertisement. It spells out scam to me. I'm not sure about you guys, but yeah, I avoid that like the plague, pretty much. Just gonna lift my visor up a little bit here. Oh, fresh air. So I'm going to see what time we're at when we get to this little roundabout here. I think I can see 14 on the camera there, so we're doing well. We are doing well indeed. We are at 15, fantastic. Well, there's 15 minutes gone. Have we really been riding for this long? But I suppose my point in that really is just be aware of what you click on when it comes to things online, even YouTube. There's times where I'm scrolling along social media, on Facebook and such, where like an hour before I might have been looking at various guitars on a certain website, no names mentioned, and then I'll get an advertisement on Facebook later on saying, oh hey, this guitar, and I'll be like, well, hang on, how did you know? And it's all algorithms, it's all Google, it's all information. It knows what you're looking at, it knows what you like, and it's going to try and pop these things in your face to say, hey, you can buy this. And you know what? Sometimes it works. Sometimes you do see something, but the amount of times that I've heard a story where a friend's found like a pair of leggings which are great for physical activities like running, dancing, all this sort of physical stuff which he needs to do, and he'd tell me he never actually got the product. He basically had been scammed by this fake company selling a non-existing item. So again, just be very cautious of what you purchase online. Wait for it. Haha. Just be very careful about what you purchase online. Be careful what you click on. Be careful what you even look at sometimes, because there are scripts and bots and methods and all that wonderful jazz, which seems really helpful, don't get me wrong, but the main reason for it being there is to sell you something. And as I've previously mentioned, we live in a day and age where it's maximum sell for minimal effort, and these bots are pretty much minimal effort, if I do say so myself. But hey, that's just me. So I think, in all honesty, I can leave the video there, really. Such a happy thought, eh? But same as usual, if there's anything you'd like me to talk about or address, or anything strictly motorcycle related, because you know I need some more of that in my life, then just pop that in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, the usual crap. Only if you want to. You are human, you're capable of making your own decisions. And well, until next time, ta for now.